Hi guys, welcome back to the Baseline. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to talk about a really interesting number that has come out in the Gallup poll today. And it shows a significant shift in a particular public opinion. And for the first time in decades, it's showing that less than half of Americans now sympathize with Israel. And that support has dropped to 46%, while the support for Palestinians has increased to 33%. And that is a notable change, to say the least, right? And the question is now, why? And the reality is that in recent events in Gaza, widely documented and shown on social media, has exposed what many believe to be human rights violations. The visibility of these incidents has influenced public perception in a way that traditional media coverage just often doesn't do. So, like we mentioned before, the support for Israel is now at 46%, and the support for Palestinians are now at 33%. This shift, it suggests that more Americans are now questioning the policies and actions of the Israeli government, particularly in relation to the military operations in Gaza. So what's also worth discussing is the response to this change in public opinion. Rather than engaging in open dialogue, sometimes it seems like the United States government wants to suppress certain information. And as you guys remember, they tried to do that ban on TikTok, and that's a platform where much of this information was being shared. There was a statement recently from the former Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, and he discussed the reasoning behind the social media ban. And it seemed to be a pretty significant admission. If a major media platform is being restricted, partly because of the way it allows critical discussions on foreign policy, it raises questions now about free speech and the role of media in shaping public perception. The great journalist Glenn Greenwald highlighted a few more critical points, right? You know, he mentioned that support for Israel among Americans is now at its lowest in 25 years. Among Jewish Americans, the opinions are also shifting. So get this, guys, 66% of Jewish American teens now say they sympathize with the Palestinian people. And this statistic, it's particularly telling. It indicates that many younger Jewish Americans are also reevaluating their stance based on what they're seeing and what they're learning. So let's try to take a look at the humanitarian impact. Reports show that a significant portion of those killed in the recent military operations in Gaza are in fact children under 10. And this is one of the key reasons why global support for Israel's policies are declining. Regardless of political perspectives or what side of the aisle are you on, the impact on civilians, particularly children, it's difficult, to say the least, to justify. So another aspect of this discussion also comes down to the financial support that the United States government gives to Israel. Despite domestic growing issues such as rising health care, budget cuts, costs to social programs, the U.S. continues to allocate billions upon billions of dollars to aid to Israel. And to have kind of a perspective on this and why it should concern United States citizens is that, for instance, right, like Israel has universal health care, and that's funded in part by the United States government. Meanwhile, millions of Americans struggle here at home with medical bills, lack of access to affordable health care, and oftentimes having to file bankruptcy because of those medical bills. And because we don't have universal health care, sometimes when claims get denied, the worst can happen. And we lose our family members, and people can die from this. So this leads to this question, right? And leave your comments below. I'm really curious to see what everybody thinks. Should taxpayer money be prioritized for foreign aid over domestic needs? Please let me know what you guys think. And I think this shift is going to be the beginning of a broader conversation about public opinion, about foreign policy, media influence, and the role of public awareness in shaping government decisions. So please let me know your thoughts. I really appreciate you guys watching, and thanks again for joining the Baseline. We'll catch you on the next round.